Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look at the biography of Brad Whitford. Brad Whitford was born on March 26, 1953 in the city of Newton, which is just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So from an early age, Brad was influenced by the classic rock that was popular in the Boston area. Some of his earliest influences include the British invasion bands like the Rolling Stones and the Who, as well as American bands like the Byrds and the Beach Boys. He also began listening to jazz at an early age, and one of his biggest influences was the trumpeter Miles Davis. This diverse range of musical influences would later help to shape Brad's unique sound and playing style. By the time he was 14 years old, Brad had already started playing guitar and was heavily influenced by the guitarist Eric Clapton. Brad was mostly self-taught, although he did take some lessons from a local guitar teacher, but his main influences at this point were the Rolling Stones and the Who. Brad's father actually bought him a Who album for Christmas when he was 14, and that really inspired him to start playing guitar. In the early 1970s, Brad joined a band called Fastlane, and they became quite popular in the Boston area. In fact, the band's popularity led to them being featured in a local TV special. But despite their success, the band eventually broke up, and Brad went on to join another band called Mother's Finest. This was in 1973. And again, the band achieved some local success, and they even got to open for some big-name acts that were coming through Boston. These included the Allman Brothers Band, Kiss, and the J. Geils Band. In 1979, Brad's life would change forever when he was asked to join Aerosmith. The original guitarist for Aerosmith, Joe Perry, had left the band, and the remaining members were looking for a replacement. After seeing Brad play with Mother's Finest, Aerosmith's frontman, Steven Tyler, asked Brad if he was interested in joining the band. Of course, Brad said yes, and he became the new lead guitarist for Aerosmith. Their first album together was a self-titled album in 1980, and then, in 1981, they released an album called Draw the Line. Both of these albums were very successful and helped to solidify Aerosmith's status as one of the top bands in the world. In 1983, Brad co-wrote a song for the band's album Get Your Wings, and that song went on to become one of their biggest hits, Dude Looks Like a Lady. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Brad continued to tour and record with Aerosmith. They released several more hit albums during this time, including Permanent Vacation, Pump and Get a Grip. In 1993, Brad co-wrote another hit single for Aerosmith called Cryin', and then, in 1997, he co-wrote and played on one of their biggest hits ever, I Don't Wanna Miss a Thing. This song was featured in the movie Armageddon, and it went on to sell over 2 million copies. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to check out the links below. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.